So here I was, deep into painting the shelves TARDIS blue, when something happened that made us drop everything and pivot to what might be the most anti-consumer practice I've seen, and for that matter, the first and only one we've ever covered on this channel, given that it's really not our MO. We do documentaries. But before we begin, I want to be crystal clear about the methodology here. This investigation is sponsored. It's sponsored by the thousands of users who have had their digital lives obliterated overnight. And that's not hyperbole. That's what we're going to talk about today, you and I. So you're probably asking, what's the problem? Well, at first glance, it's mass account termination without due process. But it goes much deeper than that, because there is also no recourse, and they are being done by a company who not only touts AI as the second coming, but they also spend every waking moment trying to capitalize on it. They use it to try to save $1 or $2 or $1 million on not hiring human beings. This has resulted in a virtual shit show in which AI bots have gone rogue at Instagram and banned scores of unsuspecting and innocent folks. One source contacted us after losing a 21-year-old Facebook account that they had in college since the website had basically begun, since the birth of Facebook. Not 21 months, not 21, days, 21 years of networking, business contacts, and irreplaceable personal memories. The account included connections and family photos spanning nearly 2 decades, and it should come as no surprise to you that my account was also banned. And I'm one of the lucky ones. I was given a reason. I was able to piece together what happened to mine, even though it doesn't really help me in getting it back. My account alone included 16 years of memories, networking that happened while I was in the video game industry and other industries. I mean, we're talking friends that included director David Fincher, numerous Hollywood composers, veterans of the video game industry such as John Smedley, Todd Howard, and Ken Allen, and more, bands that you probably listened to yesterday, and, like him or not, even one Mel Gibson. So, people are losing a lot here. And at the moment, mine was a 16-year-old account down the drain, but then I can't even imagine the guy that had the 21-year-old. So I'm not alone, but here's where it gets interesting from a technical standpoint. My ban wasn't triggered by posted content, messages, or even user behavior. It was triggered by an account name. Yes, I can't make it up, an account name. So the account in question was called .revenge. Last week I had a few ideas for new channels, as I always do. One was a channel that would be a cute AI video channel with anecdotes and videos posted to help others get over bad relationships. I myself just got out of a really bad one, and it was my intention to use my experience to help others. My ex decided to tank her life in epic fashion, and I decided to make mine better and to grow and become a better human being. So this was the best form of revenge, hence the name. I would also give advice on how to deal with toxic people and so forth. So it was intended as a wordplay for a self-improvement channel that would help people out and help them move on from toxic relationships, basically. But AI saw and revenge and instantly thought that this was a bad channel. Why? Because AI lacks any sort of humanity or understanding of context. But it gets better. The account had 0 posts, 0 messages, 0 activity beyond account creation. I just created it out of an idea and never used it. An AI moderation system flagged the name containing revenge and terminated not just the account, but the entire Facebook ecosystem tied to me, including a 5,000 follower Instagram account for my book that's being published and the launch coming this fall. So thousands of dollars I had in marketplace inventory. You could go on and on and on. Again, I might not consider myself lucky, but I am compared to others. Many were just told that they violated community guidelines. The problem? There are no violations given. No one is being exactly told what this guideline was, what they violated, what they had done. They just simply violated community guidelines. For some, it's been a nightmare, especially young adults. And I don't say this lightly. In fact, I will have to skirt around some of the terminology here as not to get the video removed from YouTube, because we want as many people to see this as possible. For a large portion of the people I've seen posting to Reddit, the reason being given is CSE. This is exploitation in a bad way of a small person. We'll leave it at that. This is what the system and Meta are accusing a large amount of these people for, and I've seen the gamut. I've seen folks say they posted a picture of their 6-year-old niece's birthday. I've seen people say they haven't had any kind of interaction or content with that kind of stuff, even remotely. It's all over the place, but a lot of people are basically being accused of this. Probably nearly half of them from what I've seen in the posts so far. And they're all being accused of this by Facebook. I've been reading about 80-year-old women, 18-year-old boys who have been told that they violated this, and they're terrified and they're scared and they're freaking out and they have no idea what it is they did, and they're trying to, like, what did I do to trigger this? All because Meta wanted to save money and not hire human beings, and they had an AI bot doing the policing. Now, Meta claims users can appeal suspensions. They say that one merely needs to log into your account, the offending Instagram account, for example, and appeal the suspension or ban. But there's a catch. You can't log in. There is no way to appeal because the system won't let you log in to do so. And this includes your Facebook account, which has been basically eviscerated. Okay, so you no longer have an Instagram account or even a Facebook account which you can use to appeal. What do? You do what any normal human being would do. You go to the Facebook help section and you start scouring through there looking for a way in which you can contact them to get this resolved. Whether that's an email, a chat system, a phone number, you're looking for something. Except you won't find one anywhere, ever. We were only able to find 3 avenues. In fact, one was a privacy violation reporting system. They did respond to us, but they told us that they could not help us and would not talk to us because their system is only designed for helping people with violations of privacy. The second is that there is an oversight board for Facebook. The problem, you can't contact them unless you log into your Facebook account. And don't think about creating a new one. There are tons of people who are giving reports who did just that. They created a new Instagram or Facebook account to try to get this fixed and resolved, only to be banned by the Meta AI system within moments, not hours, not days, seconds. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. This is my personal opinion. This is starting to look intentional and malicious. So here you are. You've attempted to appeal, but Meta won't allow you to by gaming the system. You can't contact anyone. You can't create a new account. But wait, you just found the email legal@fb.com and subpoenas at fb.com and appeals at fb.com and even support at fb.com. So what do? You email them, which is what we did. And guess what? No response. In fact, the next day, all of these emails had been disabled, with one of them, legal@fb.com, saying, and I'm paraphrasing here, "You cannot email us unless you're our friend and on our list." Let me rephrase that here. When we attempted to email these addresses, we received automated responses stating only friends of those email addresses could send messages. Think about that. Think about the implications here. To contact Meta's legal department about a legal issue, you have to be friends with their legal department. Clearly, we're not. So if you've had a bad purchase at Best Buy, you can call 1-888-BEST-BUY. If you've had a problem with your car insurance, you can call Progressive. If you've had a hair in your hamburger, you can call McDonald's. If you have had your life erased in the blink of an eye, you cannot call Facebook. You cannot email Facebook. You cannot chat Facebook. Through Reddit analysis, we can get a pretty good idea of how many people could be affected by this. This is by no means a factual number, but in my experience in working in the gaming industry, those crying the loudest make up about 7% of those actually affected. So the rest of us, we just don't say anything. Looking at it that way, it looks to be affecting hundreds of thousands of people. Reddit is literally on fire right now, and /r/Instagram and /r/Facebook with everything blowing up about the bans. Every second, there are a plethora of posts of people asking what the hell happened to them because they don't know and they're coming there for help, but it's happening to everyone. Again, these are not actual numbers, but from what we can ascertain, about 62% have received the vague community guidelines message, with about 23% receiving the CSE warning. And then the remaining are other various messages, such as what we experienced with having one little account that never posts anything, but it was a weird name it didn't like. They all share one thing in common. None of them can appeal this termination or get their accounts back. This has led to widespread conspiracy theories. One of them states that this is a stunt to get everyone to subscribe to Verified. This stems from the fact that only people, and I do mean only people, who have gotten their accounts back were the few lucky ones who were able to make a new account, get it verified by Meta, and then contacted support, because apparently that's the only way you can contact support is to pay them. We tried this. We were blocked. We got to the point of paying, and it said something was suspicious about our account, even though we were using an account that was 2 years old, had a few friends on it, etc. So that's another avenue chopped off. Has Meta's AI, the thing that they want you to embrace and pay for, failed? It seems so. This is a huge assumption on our part, but here's what we believe happened based on our analysis. Meta deployed an updated AI moderation system developed to proactively identify problematic accounts before they post content. Minority Report for Instagram. The system appears to use keyword flagging, pattern recognition, and potentially some form of predictive modeling. However, our data shows that it's generating massive false positives. Accounts banned before posting any content at all, profile names triggering bans regardless of context, cross-platform terminations affecting entire Meta ecosystems. It's ridiculous. And there's no human review process in the moderation pipeline. From a systems perspective, this is what we call a catastrophic failure of QA testing. Especially in the gaming industry. The business impact, the real cost, let's talk numbers. For content creators and small businesses, this isn't just inconvenient, it's financially devastating. Our source alone lost 20 years of professional networking contacts. $3,000 in active marketplace listings. I had a couple thousand in active marketplace listings. They had a 250,000 follower marketing platform on Instagram, irreplaceable family photos, memories. Multiply that across hundreds of thousands of users, and we're looking at potentially billions in economic damages from a poorly implemented AI system. In fact, one of those stories is that we've heard a lot, and that is people are not able to access or see pictures of dead loved ones. This is sad. It seems a social media company made for people to connect has lost its ability to connect to people and is no longer social. The Meta response, radio silence. We reached out to Meta for a comment. I'm sure you can imagine the response we received. It's the same response everyone else has received pretty much. Crickets. The same company that expects you to pay for Meta verified subscriptions, submit government ID for verification, trust them with your business, advertising spend, use their platform for commerce transactions, provide zero customer support infrastructure for when their systems fail. Zero. This is unacceptable for any company, but especially one with 3 billion users worldwide that makes the kind of money that Meta does. What does this mean for the industry? This case demonstrates critical failure in automated content moderation that every tech company needs to learn from. When you remove human oversight from systems that can destroy livelihoods, you create the exact scenario we're documenting today. This is exactly what has happened. This is not fantasy. Meta's approach appears to prioritize cost savings over user rights, implementing AI systems without adequate testing, human review processes, or meaningful appeals mechanisms. So, what are the legal implications? What are the recommendations? Here's where this gets interesting from a legal standpoint, and I am by all means not an attorney, but multiple users are now filing small claims court cases. The maximum allowed in our state is $10,000, and we are filing on Monday. We gave Meta 7 days per our email to them, to their legal department, but we weren't their friend and weren't able to contact them. Therefore, that time frame has evaporated, just like our account. The strategy isn't necessarily to win individual cases, but to force Meta to respond to potentially hundreds of thousands of simultaneous legal actions. Even if most cases fail, the administrative burden could force policy changes. For affected users, we recommend 1, document everything. Screenshots, emails, financial losses, everything you can think of. Contact your state attorney general's office and the state attorney general's office in California where Facebook is located. I can tell you right now they're not happy either. Consider small claims court if financially viable in your jurisdiction. I know not everyone's in the United States. Not everyone has that option. Report to relevant consumer protection agencies and even contact your state's congressional representative. Facebook is relying on you doing none of this, and they aren't expecting it from all of us. So, when governments exert control, they don't expect the people to rise up. Like it or not, when Trump was elected this last time, people didn't expect the people to do anything or to vote or to go out. History has shown us time and time again that when people band together, it can be a tidal wave of change. And there's something to be said about the power of the people, even still. You can go sign change.org and all these petitions. That's not going to get you anywhere. You might think that my small claims court will do no good and that I won't win. And you're probably right. But if every single person affected filed a small claims case Monday, even if none of us won, this is hundreds of thousands of cases that Meta would have to answer, file paperwork for, show up to, and deal with. Retainer or not, I promise you, it would drain their resources and possibly wake them up. This might be $35 out of your pocket, but it would be a lot more out of theirs. They can't just brush off all these lawsuits, and let's be honest, unless a class action comes around, and I smell a big one, then this is the way we get our message across to a platform that will no longer allow us to post messages. Maybe next time they will think twice about banning a bunch of people for no reason and accusing half of them of really horrible things. Maybe not. But there is case over case on the internet of people suffering PTSD or having panic attacks, stressed out about the fact of what they are being accused of. And I can tell you that for one, I believe them because I was banned for an account that has never made a single post and only had a name that a robot didn't like. We may have very little recourse, but need to let Meta know that they cannot just get away with behavior like this without recourse. The bottom line is that Meta has created a system where AI bots make irreversible decisions about users' digital lives, a place that is built on promoting your digital life. And so no meaningful appeals process exists. False accusations of serious crimes are made algorithmically. Years of personal and business data can be deleted instantly with zero recourse. This is not just bad customer service. This is fundamental violation of basic consumer rights and due process. If Meta wants to look like a modern day Bond villain, I'll tell you this, they're doing a pretty good job in my opinion. So all I'm saying is actions speak louder than words. We have to do something about this. We can't just sit around and let them ban everyone. If you're affected, do something. Companies cannot hide behind terms of service agreements when their automated systems fail this catastrophically. There must be accountability, human oversight, and meaningful appeals processes. The tech industry needs to understand, like Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. And if they're going to play with all its AI, when your platform becomes integral to people's personal and professional lives, you have an obligation to implement safeguards that protect users from algorithmic failures if you plan to rely heavily on AI. Simple as that. Meta is not above the law. They are not most certainly above us. Contrary to the belief that a certain Mark Zuckerberg may have. Big companies who could never fail have fallen for less or by not keeping up with the times. And it seems like Facebook is trying to get way too ahead of the times and is tripping over its own shoelaces. I wish I had an answer. I wish I had an answer for you and for everyone out there. I wish I had an alternative for you, someplace that everyone could go where our friends and relatives would join us and everyone we knew would go there, and a place where we would promote our businesses and sell our wares and live fruitful lives engaging with each other as we did before. But I don't. And that's the problem. And that's where our congressmen, our state's attorneys, and others like them come into play. Thanks for watching. Thanks for dealing with me going straight at it. Thank you for watching with my tongue-tied words here and there. We will be returning to our documentary soon. Our next video will be on Sidney Poitier. Then we will have another one coming on Rod Serling at the Twilight Zone soon. But again, thank you for watching. My hope is that everybody at least gets something out of this. Maybe some more word of mouth gets around and we do something about it. So please promote the video. Please give it a thumbs up for the algorithm. And I really hope all of you, I really hope you get your accounts back.